World Athletics Championships, Oblique Seville and Melissa Jefferson win 100-meter gold. Jamaica's Oblique Seville crowned himself World 100m champion after blazing to a personal best 9.77 seconds in Tokyo. Compatriot Keyshawn Thompson made it a Jamaican 1-2 on the second night of the World Athletics Championships, claiming silver in 9.82s, with Olympic and defending world champion Noah Lyles collecting bronze in a season's best 9.89s. The race, watched by world record holder Usain Bolt from the stands, required a restart after the Olympic 200m champion, Botswana Letsal Tobago, was disqualified for a false start. Jarnell Hughes was the fastest Briton in the semi-final heats in 10.03s, but ultimately missed the finals by 1 place. The top 2 from each heat qualified for the final alongside the 2 fastest remaining finishers. Hughes, the 2023 bronze medalist, was well off the pace of Kenny Bednarek and Thompson, who both finished in 9.85s from the same heat. The Briton and Canada's Jerome Blake were 2/100ths of a second faster than Welsh record holder Jeremiah Azu, the 11th fastest semi-finalist, while Romel Glave was 15th in 10.09s. Dina Ashersmith finished 8th in a women's 100-meter final won by the United States' Melissa Jefferson in a championship record 10.61s. Ashersmith crossed the finish in 11.08s. Jamaica's Tina Clayton took silver in a personal best 10.76s, and Olympic champion Julian Alfred collected bronze in 10.84s. I would have loved for my times to be a bit shinier over the 100m, but given the year that I've had and everything, I'm so happy with just how I came into these championships, Ashersmith said. Obviously, I want a lot more in the 200m. But yeah, I'm happy to have made a global final in what has been a very difficult year for me. Daryl Nita, 11.06s, was second quickest of all the athletes from the women's 100-meter heats, but came 4th in the first semifinal behind the United States defending champion Sha'Carri Richardson, who stumbled but still claimed the other non-automatic finals place. Their heat required a restart after a potential false start for Richardson was reviewed, but the American was shown a green card. "I'm angry," said Nita. "What happened with my race? I don't know what happened with the false start. I just knew it wasn't me. I said that out there." Nita was knocked out of a best-of-the-rest spot by compatriot Amy Hunt, 1/100th of a second faster, who in turn saw her opening overtaken by Ashersmith by 3/100ths of a second. Olympic 400-meter silver medalist Matt Hudson-Smith revealed he felt something in his hip after finishing 4th in his heat. Hudson-Smith still qualified for Tuesday's semifinal, but faces questions over his fitness he could not immediately answer after crossing the finish in 44.68s, still enough to go through as one of the 6 fastest non-automatic qualifiers. The Wolverhampton athlete sat second for the majority of the heat before losing steam on the final stretch. "It felt flat, and my hips are a bit iffy," said Hudson-Smith. "I was running, and I felt, oh no, my hips don't feel good. I got through it, but it hurt, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I literally had nothing. It's weird." The 30-year-old's time was still the quickest of the British trio, who all saw themselves through. Charlie Dobson qualified automatically with a third-place finish from the first heat in 44.85s, while Samuel Reardon also had to wait to learn his fate after coming 4th in the 4th heat in 44.70s. Revie Walcott-Nolan missed out after finishing 8th in her 1,500-meter semifinal heat. But there was good news for Ireland's Sarah Healy, who shares a coaching team with Keely Hodgkinson and booked a berth in Tuesday's final. The 100 meters is the crown jewel of athletics, the shortest race, yet the one that defines entire legacies. On a cool September night in Tokyo at the 2025 World Athletics Championships, 2 new stars etched their names in history. Within the span of minutes, Jamaica's Oblique Seville and America's Melissa Jefferson claimed gold in the men's and women's sprints, a dual coronation that shifted the balance of global track and field. Seville's moment of destiny. For Oblique Seville, gold was not just a medal, it was vindication. He had been the nearly man for years, 4th in Eugene 2022, another near miss in Budapest 2023, always quick but never quite the champion. The whispers were cruel. Did he have the mentality to win? Could he carry Jamaica's legendary sprinting legacy in the shadow of Usain Bolt? On this night, he answered with his legs. From the gun, Seville was flawless. His reaction time of 0.128 was electric, his drive phase powerful, his form unshaken. By 60 meters, he was in front. Noah Lyles fought hard in the middle lanes. Keyshawn Thompson surged wide, but Seville never yielded. When he crossed the line, the stadium screens flashed 9.76 seconds, a personal best and a championship record. The roar from the Jamaican fans was deafening. After years of chasing, Seville had finally arrived. "This is for Jamaica, for everyone who never stopped believing in me," he said, draped in the green, gold, and black. "I waited for this moment my whole life." Jefferson Wooden's breakthrough. If Seville's story was one of redemption, Melissa Jefferson Wooden's was a tale of revelation. Few expected her to stand atop the podium. The headlines belonged to Sha'Carri Richardson, the reigning Olympic champion, or to Shericka Jackson, Jamaica's seasoned powerhouse. Jefferson Wooden was often overlooked, an outsider in predictions. But the track doesn't read scripts, it reveals truth. Her start was lightning. By 30 meters, she had already put the field under pressure. Richardson matched her stride for stride. Jackson loomed close, but Jefferson Wooden's cadence was relentless. At 80 meters, she surged, her stride smooth, her focus unbreakable. She crossed first in 10.62 seconds, a new American record and the fifth fastest time in history. Falling to her knees, tears streaming, Jefferson Wooden knew she had changed her life forever. "I've been chasing this since I was a little girl in South Carolina," she said afterward. "Tonight, I showed the world who I am." Rivals humbled. Every great victory is defined by who was beaten. Noah Lyles, America's showman, the reigning king of sprints, had to settle for bronze in 9.85. His charisma remained, but Seville proved too strong. "It stings," Lyles admitted. "But this isn't the end. It's just fuel for the fight ahead." Keyshawn Thompson, Seville's compatriot, claimed silver, proving Jamaica's sprint dynasty remains alive and dangerous. Sha'Carri Richardson, the American star, finished with silver. She embraced Jefferson Wooden at the finish line, acknowledging her teammates' brilliance. "Melissa ran the race of her life," she said. Shericka Jackson, as fierce as ever, took bronze. Though denied gold, her consistency solidified her as one of the greats of her generation. The rivalries were not diminished, they were sharpened. Every race from now on will carry new weight. Jamaica's rebirth, America's renewal. These victories were not isolated, they carried national significance. For Jamaica, Seville's triumph signaled the dawn of a new sprinting era. Since Bolt's retirement, fans feared the island's dominance in men's sprints had waned. Seville's gold, paired with Thompson's silver, reignited national pride. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.